Ladies and gentlemen, have a nice round of applause for tonight's Hall of Fame inductee, Doug Neely. Ladies and gentlemen, this time, it's my great pleasure to introduce Ed Hale. Ed will present Doug with his award. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear from the man himself, the newest member of your Baltimore Blast Hall of Fame, Doug Neely.
Good evening, Baltimore Blast fans. How's everyone doing tonight? Yeah. I want to thank everyone for coming out and supporting the Baltimore Blast tonight. And I am extremely overwhelmed by being inducted to the Baltimore Blast Hall of Fame. To think my name's going to be up there, the likes of Stan Stamenkovich, Mike Stankovich, Timmy Whitman, Chris Vaccaro, and all the others is it's actually pretty insane for me. So thank you very much, everyone. I would like to thank Chris, Mike, Joey Fink, and Dave McWilliams for coming tonight and supporting me. Thank you very much, guys. Just a little background. Coming out of Chapman College in Orange County, California, I was undrafted. I'd been at the Senior Bowl, and the local team was the Los Angeles Lasers, and the coach there was Keith Tozer, who I'm sure everyone here in attendance knows. Keith invited me out to training camp, signed a contract for the reserve team, and then from there was the rest is history, and it's what allowed me to be here tonight. So I'd like to thank Keith Tozer very much. After Los Angeles, I was playing in Kansas City, and a guy there named Ken Ronfed, who's actually coaching the Missouri team tonight, kind of took me under his arm and taught me how to play the game, taught me how to be a true professional. And he is also someone who I'd really like to thank tonight. I'm sure he's in the locker room right now, but thank you very much, Ken Ronfed. From there, it was the summer of '91. I was down in Bali in Australia. I was on a surfing trip, and one of our goalkeepers, Jim Gorsuch, had called me to let me know that Kansas City was folding and that it wasn't looking too well for the league. So I came back from Bali, and I got a phone call from Kenny Cooper, who asked if I'd wanted to play in Baltimore. You know, Baltimore was always one of my favorite cities to come to play, but it was more for the off the field antics and activities. You know, it wasn't fun playing in this arena if you were a visitor. You know, the actual games were difficult, not only because of the team on the field, but also because of the Baltimore Blast fans. You always felt you were playing against the team, but also playing against the fans themselves. So I jumped at the chance when they offered me a contract to play here for the Blast and for the Baltimore Blast fans. There was one person who wasn't really actually too happy that I was being signed by Baltimore, and that was the trainer back then, Marty McGinty. From what I understand, his exact words were, "What, you signed that long-haired bleep? He bleeps." And those aren't the exact words, but you can kind of get the idea. And almost 20 years later, Marty and I are the best of friends. And he actually named his son Neely. And little Neely is here in attendance tonight. I'm not sure where he's at, but that was kind of a great honor. And nice. And my second go around with the Blast was in 1998. Ed Hale had repurchased the team. Kevin Healy was the general manager and the head coach. And I remember coming into a meeting when I first got back in Baltimore. It was Kevin and Ed. I'm walking in, and Ed's looking at me kind of funny the whole meeting. And finally, he blurts out, he's all, "Man, what happened to the hair?" And I couldn't explain that one, but 12 years later and a lot less hair, I'm here tonight, and I'm very honored. One of the most important things that I learned about playing in Baltimore is that if I worked hard and the fans trusted that I was giving them everything, that you guys were going to take me in. And I hope I was able to do that for you guys. As a player, I didn't have the flat-out skills of Stan Stamikovic or Mike Stankovic. I didn't have the physical ability of a Timmy Whitman or the tenacity of Bruce Savage. And Chris Piccaro actually made me look good a lot of nights. So I appreciate that, Chris. Thank you. But I want to thank all my teammates throughout the years, and one in particular is Steve Boardman, who I've known for 30 years. My first day at San Diego State when I arrived, he was the first guy I met, and that friendship has continued throughout. He's here. I wish I could thank all of my teammates individually, but it just would be too long. Another group who I'd like to thank would actually be the front office of the Baltimore Blast. They don't get enough credit for what they do. They're not operating on a marketing budget of the Ravens or the Orioles, right? But they are what allows us as players to play in front of great crowds like this. They do a tremendous, tremendous job. And this group in particular, the group that I've worked with lately, of Robin Eichelberger, Jason Carrott, Amy Keller, Mike Conway, and Kevin Healy. One thing you realize, this group has been a mainstay here. Players have changed, coaches have changed. This group has been there through these 5 championships that they have brought to Baltimore. It's pretty amazing what they have done. And I want to thank each and every one of you. And the person alone who makes a lot of these decisions is Kevin Healy. Right? He's far and above the best GM in the league. If you look at the local talent that he recognizes here in Baltimore, it's amazing. You got Giuliano, Billy Nelson, just to name a few, Barry Stitches and Jason Dieters of the world. But what he has done for this team in Baltimore has been truly amazing. Congratulations. I would also like to thank the owner, Ed Hale, who I truly, truly, personally believe has saved indoor soccer in America. Without him, we would not have this arena to be able to play in front of you fans. So thank you very, very much, Ed. Lastly, I'd like to thank you fans, because you afforded me a place to form some beautiful relationships that have been here in my life. Because without the fans in Baltimore, Ed would have no reason to have the team. So if it wasn't for you,